Really, I was busy that yesterday afternoon doing it. I can't remember where I was now, because I didn't listen to it. But I have read several news accounts about that. I'll just say there's an interesting history lesson, is all I'll say. And I don't know who's right and who wasn't right, and I don't know. They were obviously, surprisingly, I don't mean in a bad way, but boy, they knew their stuff. I mean, what they were taught. I assumed they did. I wouldn't know enough to argue with them. But about in the early 1800s, when the Supreme Court first decided they were the ones that were supposed to decide the constitutionality of law, to me, as a layperson, not an attorney, I always thought that that the legislature, obviously, you learn in civics class, passes the laws, and then the executive branch enforces those laws, and then the judicial branch decides their constitutionality of those laws, and that just always made sense to me. But there are some arguments now that wasn't the way it was meant to be. I'd never heard that argued before, so that was an interesting history lesson. I just have to say that. I like to study up on it more, because I'd never heard that before.
And that being said, you support that bill going forward. That would basically say that.
I can honestly say I don't know enough about it. They muddied the water enough yesterday that I'm not really sure. So I don't know. There's, was the one argument, because it's interesting. I love debating and thinking about stuff like this. They say that the Supreme Court is not an unbiased third party to decide whether something's constitutional or not. Let's think about this: that the legislature passed the bill. How could they be the unbiased third party to decide if something was unconstitutional or not? You'd think that, in my mind, the Supreme Court would be the one to decide that, and we've operated that way for almost 200 years. And I don't know whether that was the way our founding fathers, Jefferson, I guess it's Jefferson and Madison, wanted it, but that's the way we've operated. And just like this right here is not in statute I was talking about, we have both statutes, we have case law. That's the way common law, that's the way our country operates. And so I think common law would say that the Supreme Court is the one that decides that. So that's an interesting debate. I'd never heard all that before.
Do we need the
I know Jeff knew it all, but I didn't. Right?
Do we need the Tennessee Education Equality Act?